It's shocking how many stories you guys have of people ending up in dangerous and even life-threatening situations because of their unsafe posting habits on social media. This all started when I posted an Instagram reel warning people about posting identifiable things about where they live and the places that they go to routinely. And I used the example of an unnamed influencer who used to live in my city who learned this lesson the hard way. So many people had similar stories based on what they witnessed online or even had their own personal experiences to share. So much so that I went to YouTube to share some of these comments. After that YouTube video also gained a lot of attention, I created an internet safety series on this channel to discuss this topic more in depth. These things happen to people with unsafe posting habits so often that people in the comments were trying to guess the influencer that I was talking about in my original Instagram reel. Hailey Bailey, best dressed, my fam. Nope, no one correctly guessed the influencer I was talking about. But this happens so often that these experiences are basically interchangeable among a lot of people. It doesn't matter if you're a content creator, a professional on LinkedIn, or just a person who has social media to keep up with friends and family. There are a lot of social media safety pitfalls that people make across all types of social media users that can lead to the same scary and dangerous situations. That's what today's video is all about. The common social media safety mistakes people make online and how you can avoid them. But first, I have a very relevant and exciting announcement. There are so many of you who want to post online for various reasons. It's disheartening to see how many people want to post online, express themselves creatively, and benefit from a social media presence, but feel nervous doing so because keeping themselves safe online feels daunting. But it really doesn't have to be at the end of the day. In my previous video on digital footprints, I asked you guys if you wanted me to create some digital resources to help you guys make staying safe online a seamless and easy part of the posting process. And the support was overwhelming. So I basically took all of last week to create 3 digital products bundled into one: a social media safety guide and 2 flowcharts. The social media safety guide is a comprehensive guide that allows you to keep safety in mind from start to finish. This guide is split into 3 major sections. The first section is for you to make your social media safety plan, which includes getting clear on your desired personal brand, which is basically what you want to be known for. The plan helps you get clear on your one or multiple purposes for having a presence online. The safety plan also allows you to reflect on the details you find necessary to share online in order to accomplish that purpose, and what personal details you plan to keep private. This section has prompts, examples, and it also has designated areas for you to document your reflections in order to make the different parts of this plan concrete and easy to revisit. The second section is a thorough guide of social media safety tips, and they're separated by the different types of social media users and account holders. I have tips that apply to everyone regardless of your purpose for being on social media. Many of them I'll be discussing more in depth in this video, but I also have safety tips in the guide that are specific to content creators and influencers, safety tips specific to professionals, and safety tips specific to personal social media users. The final section includes 2 flowcharts to review your content before posting and to audit any existing content you have. The first flowchart is the location flowchart, which allows you to check to make sure that your content doesn't expose your home address, routine locations, and current location. The second flowchart is the identity and brand flowchart to make sure your content doesn't expose any sensitive information and doesn't expose other details that you planned previously to keep private, including any content that could negatively impact you. It also gives you an opportunity to reflect on if your content aligns with your desired personal brand. For both flowcharts, you start at the starting point, answer each question based on what's in your video or photo, yes or no, and then follow the path to the next question and so on. Eventually, you will reach an endpoint that tells you your content is safe to post or do not post. It's been a long week, and I'm so happy and excited that I finished creating these tools for you guys. And for the first week that this video is uploaded to YouTube, I'm putting a discount on the social media safety guide. It's available from both the Stan Store link in the video description, but I'll also put the Stan Store link in a pinned comment. It doesn't matter if you're a content creator, a professional on LinkedIn, or a person who just posts online to keep up with your friends and family. There are so many social media safety pitfalls that people make across all types of social media users. The first is not getting clear before creating a social media presence on what you are okay with sharing and what you need to keep private. This creates a lot of issues because there may be some details that you need to share in order to accomplish your purpose for being on social media, but being strategic about the details that aren't necessary to share can really help you stay safe. The less information you share online, the less breadcrumbs others have to uncover your sensitive information. information. A more general example is if you want to make entertaining and inspiring vlogs. What parts of your routine and what parts of your life aren't necessary to share? One thing I can think of is the kind of car you drive. Showing your car isn't necessary to creating engaging vlogs of your life, but others knowing what kind of car you drive is a significant breadcrumb to confirming your whereabouts in conjunction with other pieces of information about you. Some details and certain pieces of information may not seem important, but can really be the thing that keeps someone from putting 2 and 2 together and making 4. So being clear on the details that are off limits or safe to post is totally necessary. The safety plan section of the social media safety guide can help you do that. The next big mistake is posting identifiable things about where you live and the places that you go to routinely. There are a lot of people who post on social media that post so many identifiable things so often to the point where a lot of people know where they live or where to find them at any given time. This is what my original Instagram reel and a lot of the stories that you guys shared were centered around. I won't spend too much time explaining this one because my first YouTube video on internet safety and the Instagram reel also went into depth on this. You can watch the internet safety video on this channel if you haven't. The next mistake is posting anything on your social media stories or your feeds in real time. This is another one that gets people into some dangerous situations. If you want to post a restaurant or a concert or an event that you went to, you don't want to tell everyone where you are right this second. Wait to post the content after you've left the location. Social media should really be a lagging measure of your life and experiences, not a play-by-play on how to get access to you right now. The next mistake is posting content from a vacation or a trip while you're still traveling. In most cases, it's best to wait until you return from your vacation or your trip to post content from the trip. This is usually to avoid letting people know that your home is empty. So if you live with other people, the risk might be lower. Like you're on vacation, but your roommate's still home. But I would say it's still a good practice to be cautious, and especially just making sure that you're not posting details of your trip and where you are and what you're doing in real time. If you're gonna post while you're still on vacation and while you're still traveling, make sure that you've already moved on from that area. It's really common for people to want to show the hotel or the resort or the Airbnb they're staying at. A lot of these places are really beautiful and picture worthy, but if you're posting pictures and videos on your story and feed at the hotel and resort that you're currently staying in, people know exactly where to find you. So just wait until you've already gone to a different area. Maybe you moved on to a different resort for your trip, you've moved to a different hotel for your trip, or you're on your way home and then you want to post. The next mistake is exposing your sensitive information verbally or through what you show in your content. This one is the unboxing videos that people do, and the box that they're opening has their address label clearly visible on it, or they're sharing content with clips of their car but then the license plate is visible, or those parents who post pictures and videos of their children but their children are wearing their school uniform, the name and the emblem just right here. Sometimes people also forget that they're not talking to their best friend. If you're subscribed to this channel, you can be my friend if you want to. But the reality is I'm talking to a camera, and that footage is going up on the internet for everyone I don't know to see. Many people on social media verbally reveal sensitive information about themselves, maybe by revealing very specific details about the neighborhood or the area where they live, and sometimes outright naming those places. Just keep things general. You're not talking to one of your little friends. The next mistake is oversharing personal information or TMI online without having a clear purpose and without understanding the implications of doing so. Just keep some experiences between you and your journal, you and your therapist. In my previous video on digital footprints, I used the example of Alex Earle and her retelling of her puke dress. And actually people in the comments mentioned that she also shared that she wore a bodysuit for Halloween and it was so difficult to take off that she just peed through the bodysuit for the night. The only reason why we all know these things about her is because she puts them on the internet. In all seriousness, I know that Alex Earle comes from a very wealthy family and is now very wealthy herself, being a popular influencer. So her sharing these things will probably have little impact on her life and her future opportunities. But for most of us common folk, employment. Job interviews. Many employers are not going to consider you as an applicant if you have a public history of unpleasant overshares. There are times where being vulnerable online or sharing a situation that you went through or are currently going through can be a great thing, but it has to be tasteful. It has to have a purpose. To some people, it can seem weird and very TMI to say, make a video about your health issues or something that you were diagnosed with. Your health conditions are a private thing, but it does make sense if that person is sharing that journey to connect with others going through the same thing thing, or who have loved ones going through the same thing, or they just want to bring more awareness and education around it. I think that there are a lot of ways to create something great out of something traditionally considered TMI. But at the end of the day, there has to be a purpose. The next mistake is posting anything that you're not okay with being known for, and posting content where you don't feel prepared for the potential feedback and reactions it could generate. These two things I just said are pretty similar. If you don't want to be known for internet safety videos, don't make videos on internet safety. That was a cheeky example, but people associate you with what you're putting out. That's all the more reason why it's important to be clear on your personal brand, or what you're okay with being known for, what you desire being known for, and also knowing what you're not okay being known for. It's okay to not want to be associated with certain topics, but it helps to be clear on that up front. The next mistake is not reviewing your content before posting it. Reviewing your content for safety before posting it allows you to watch your content and keep safety top of mind, thinking about things like, do I reveal anything I deemed as private? Is this exposing too much, or does this expose any sensitive information? Having a bunch of different things to watch for only up in your mind makes it more likely that you're going to miss something. The 2 flowcharts in the social media safety guide can help you with that, and make it a fairly quick and consistent part of your posting process. And that's because you're checking for the same things in the same way every time. It's not just all up here. And the last social media safety mistake is not auditing your content on a regular basis. This is very similar to reviewing your content before posting it, except that you're reviewing the content that you've already posted again. It's really important to go back periodically through the content you've already posted and review it again. Having some distance and time from content you made in the past can actually be really helpful because it allows you to look at your content with fresh eyes. Also, let's say that you posted something a year ago. You checked it for safety, it was fine, but you review that piece of content a year later and you realize that your comfortability with sharing certain details have changed. Just go back and delete it. Reviewing your content that's already out there can help you catch some bigger things too if you did miss anything previously. Again, if you want to get your copy of the social media safety guide, including the 2 flowcharts, the Stan Store link is listed in this video's description, and I also put it in the pinned comment. The guide's going to be discounted for the entire first week that this video is live, so make sure to get yours. I already miss you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.